We will now turn to our probate judge candidates. We also have 5 questions for each of you. We'll begin with Mr. Harris and alternate who answers first. Mr. Harris, the probate judge is called upon to make administrative and judicial decisions. Larger communities require that the probate judge needs to be an attorney. Do you believe that you have adequate legal knowledge to make sound judicial decisions?
Yes, I do. And the reason I say I do is because of my law enforcement background. I'm able to read and interpret laws as they are written and apply them as they're supposed to be applied. And that's the reason that I think I can feel that obligation of not being an attorney. With 32 years of law enforcement, I've been to everything. I've seen almost everything. And I've had to make decisions, good common sense decisions, life-saving decisions. So yes, I think I can do that without a law degree. There are probably a few things I could tell you lawyer guys.
I don't think it's necessary to be an attorney to be a probate judge. I have been probate judge for 12 years. I'm not an attorney. Troup County, when I became probate judge, had about 58,000 people. We have somewhere near 68,000 now. I have over 300 hours training through the University of Georgia in probate matters. We don't handle criminal activity. We don't handle traffic court. The larger counties have state courts, such as Troup County. The smaller counties handle traffic, and the probate judges there, most of the judges and probate judges in the state of Georgia are not attorneys. We are a people's court. We work with people who are in need. We probate wills. We do guardianships for adults, incapacitated adults. We do temporary guardianships for minors. We issue marriage license. We issue passports and gun permits. And as far as my training goes, I am a mentor for newly elected probate judges. In our area, I'm the one they come to train the probate judges, whether they're an attorney or not. And most attorneys in this area, unless they specialize in probate, come to me with questions that I can help them with. And I definitely do not believe that you have to be an attorney to be probate judge. Thank you.
Judge Wood, this question is for you. Judges are called upon to apply law rather than make the law, but judges have a lot of discretion in the application of the law. What will guide you in exercising your discretion?
Well, when we are looking at laws, you're absolutely right. You cannot make law. We have to try to interpret the law. And you make the best decision that you can based on the facts, based on the evidence, and what is presented in front of you. And that's what we do. Like I say, we don't handle criminal trials. We do administrative hearings. We do have from time to time contested wills. We do have from time to time guardianship hearings. And basically we're trained every year on all the new laws, and we're updated on all the new laws. And we handle most everything that the other courts don't have time to do. And that's what we do, and that's what I hope we'll continue to do.
Discretion is a big part of law enforcement. We don't have anybody looking over our shoulders and guiding us while we're out there riding around. We make a lot of decisions at our own discretion. And I've learned through all of my years of doing that is my discretion is for the benefit of the victim or the person that's in need of help. If I make a decision, I want that decision is to be to help the person that needs the help at that time. It's not all the time a popular decision, but I like to make fair decisions. Say if someone is there to get guardianship for an older person, then I want that older person to have the best guardian that's available for them at that time. I want to put that person in good hands. So my discretion in the probate office for someone that's need help or has a problem would be for the victim or that person that needs help.
Okay. Mr. Harris, this question begins with you. Recently, a school board member was found to live outside the approved district and had to resign. What can be done to ensure that all candidates are duly qualified to run inside their districts?
Go see. Do your footwork. Go out and see if that's where he or she lives. Just don't take the word for it. And if they don't live in that district, then they should not be allowed to run in that district. It's all about footwork. There's enough investigation that you can do to go out and make sure that that person lives where they're supposed to live. If he's got a family, a wife and a kid, and if he's not divorced or she's not divorced, then he's living somewhere else, then chances are, if he's not divorced, then he lives at home. So there's enough time and enough resources to go out and investigate to find out where that person lives. That should never happen.
When a person comes in to qualify for an office, especially in the school board is nonpartisan, so they would qualify in the probate office right now because the probate judge serves as election superintendent. Every candidate fills out an application swearing under oath that everything they put on that application is true and correct. And basically we take their word for it. They swear under oath, it's notarized, and unless we get a complaint, then we're not obligated to look into it. If we get a complaint from someone who lives in the community and they say this person does not live in that district, then we investigate. In a particular case we had a couple of years ago, that's exactly what I did. We had a candidate that said they lived in a certain location, and I got a complaint. I went out, and the people who lived in the house said they knew him, but he didn't live there. I said, does he rent from you? No. Does he live next door? No. Where does he live? He lives with his parents outside the district. And so, based on that information, we ruled that he would have to come off of the ballot unless he resigned. And he did resign. And then I believe he actually had a hearing before the school board, and before the school board could make a decision, the candidate resigned. So basically, they put in writing that that they are who they are, and they live where they live, and until we get a complaint, that's what we have to live with.
Judge Boyd, this begins with you. Troup County will have an elections board beginning January 1st. How will this affect the job of the probate judge?
It'll make it a little lighter, that's for sure. Some people think elections just happen, and that's not the case. Election is a year-round job. I've tried to do the job of election superintendent for 12 years. That's the most controversial part of my job. And but I enjoy it. I like doing it. And but when the county decided to go to an election board, I did not agree with it because I don't think they looked into it well enough to make an informed decision. They called a couple of counties, got the numbers, and they said this is what it is. Not one person from the county commissioners come ask me one question about the elections. They don't even know what we do. They've never been to any of our election training. They don't know what we do. And so they're going to an election board, and someone else can do it. And I think a county our size probably should go to an election board, but not because they think it's going to save money without making an informed decision. And I told them if they would do that, put it off a couple of months, make an informed decision, I would help them and make it the smoothest transition that it could be. But they decided they want to go ahead and do it, and that's fine. That's their decision. Actually, I wish I'd take them now because it's pretty controversial. But we do the best we can with what we have, and we'll keep doing it until January 1st.
I think that having an election board is a great idea. I agree with that. I don't think that some of the decisions that the election superintendent makes should be independent. They should be done by a group of people, a group of ideas entertained to certain situations pertaining to the election process that we have in Troup County. I think that we've needed an election board for a long time. I think, as Mr. Board said, it will make the probate office judge job easier, but I think it's a fine idea, and I think it's much needed and much necessary.
Okay, Mr. Harris, this question begins with you. What do you see as the greatest challenge as well as the greatest opportunity for the probate judge department?
The greatest challenge is to help people in their needs and their times of need, and to be fair and to be just, and to make good common sense decisions. There are a lot of people that come to probate offices when their loved ones die and their property has to be divided, and you know, it needs to be divided correctly, it needs to be divided fairly, and you know, everybody needs to be called in. I'm sure they do that down there, but there need to be good decisions made. And I know you can't make everybody happy, but make a good, decent decision and interpret the law that's applicable to that situation correctly. And you know, you can Google a lot of times, but a lot of times you need to know what you're Googling so you can understand it when you get the Google back. So you know, you just have to be able to make informed decisions. What was the other part of your question?
The greatest opportunity facing the probate judge.
Certainly be a great opportunity for me. I've spent a lot of time here and in Meriwether County as a law enforcement officer. I think it's time for me to hang up my gun and badge and park that old raggedy patrol car, because I think I've paid my dues, and I think it's time for me to be available to help people that need help.
Would you just repeat the whole question again?
What do you see as the greatest challenge as well as the greatest opportunity for the probate judge department?
The greatest challenge is working with people. Everybody has different personalities. You work with different races. You work with different personalities. You work with different groups that cannot speak English. And the challenge is to treat everybody the same. I try to do that, and I believe I have done that for the last 12 years. When I ran or decided to run for this job, I did it based on the service that I received from Judge Prescott when my dad passed away in 1990 and when my mom passed away in 99. My brother and I went to the probate court to probate the will, and we were just treated with the greatest respect. And I thought what would be one of the hardest days of my life was just pretty simple. And all because we were treated as ordinary people. And that actually the probate court at one time was called the ordinary, not the probate judge. We deal with people every day that can't afford to go to an attorney. And they come to our office. We have standard forms that they can fill out. We try to help them. And there's a fine line that you walk without giving legal advice, because we can't do that. But we help them every way that we can. The greatest opportunity is I feel that this is a ministry, and I love my job, and I do it to the best of my ability, and I'd love to continue to do it.